Hey everyone, it's Hannah and welcome back to the Corner of Craft and the Crafty Chat podcast. I'm back. It's very exciting. You may notice that I'm in a slightly different place to where I have been podcasting for the past few months, and that's because in the month where I didn't film any videos and such, I moved country. I mentioned it quite a lot in previous podcasts and I've talked about it a lot on Instagram, so you probably know, but I now live in Nottingham in England. So welcome from Nottingham. Very cloudy, very showery. It hasn't really stopped raining since we moved back, which is actually quite unlike British weather, despite what everyone says. It's the fact that it's like persistent rain. No, it's not. Usually we have persistent rain, but this is like, oh, the weather is so nice. Horrendous rain! And then it's nice again. It's very strange. Don't really know. But yeah. So, I haven't filmed a podcast in over a month, which is ridiculous. So I'm a little out of practice, so apologies. I'm currently sat in my craft room, so this is probably where I'm going to be podcasting. I'm on the floor. Because I wanted to show off my stash, which doesn't look that impressive, but when I have the yarn that I still have to show you in there too, it looks a little bit more impressive. Oh, my hair is so frizzy. Ugh, I need to get it cut. I dyed it pink. The colour is Dark Tulip by Directions, and I washed my hair today, so it's still a bit damp. It's nice, I like it. But yeah, welcome. If you're new to the Corner of Craft and the Crafty Chat podcast, welcome to the podcast. I hope that you have your cup of tea ready. Mine's in a lovely H mug. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. And you may notice that this is not the usual mug that I drink my tea out of, but it does have a lovely H on it. And the reason is, if you follow me on Instagram and you watch my Instagram stories, this mug looked perfect and like it had made it here in one piece. But sadly, when I had a tea out of it, it was leaking and it's cracked. Which is very sad, but it's not completely broken. So I'm going to use it as a pen pot, because for those who don't know, this was my crafty mug. And this is what I would have tea out of for every single podcast. But now it is broken. It is only good for as a pencil pot. And this was hand painted for me by my very, very, very good friend Julia. So now I'm sad. Pop that on my desk. So I do have social media, as I've said a lot so far. I have an Instagram, but I also have Snapchat, which I very rarely use. I have Ravelry, obviously, and I have Instagram, Snapchat, Ravelry, Twitter, which I also very rarely use, but do use on occasion, and they can all be found here. I also have a Facebook page, which is just the Corner of Craft on Facebook, and I also have an Etsy shop, but I will be talking more about that later. We have a Crafty Chat Ravelry group, and in there you will find all of the show notes and such. And I was really bad and didn't do show notes for the last podcast after saying I spend hours doing show notes, and then I didn't do show notes, so that is my bad. But yes, this is a knitting and, well, technically and crochet, but I haven't done any crochet in a really long time, so this is a knitting podcast. The Keep Knit and Kit and Cal that I was hosting with Becky, aka Soprano Knits, aka hostess with the mostess of the String It Together podcast, that came to an end a month ago. All the winners got in contact with me. Becky announced them on her podcast because sadly I haven't had time, and the winners all got in contact with me and I shipped them all off, and hopefully they've all received them, because I did that before I moved back. So I have a few finished things, but I can only actually show you one of the finished things. So I was working on some Afterthought heel socks last time I showed you, and I made them out of, oh my goodness, this yarn, which is Ana and Carlos in the Island colourway. And they're fab, and I love them, but I don't know where they are. I thought I'd unpacked all of my hand knitted socks and put them all in a drawer, but they're not in the drawer, so they've gone somewhere. But yeah, afterthought heel, still not successful. Still don't like doing it. I quite enjoyed the process of doing it. I quite enjoyed the cutting of it. Didn't so much like the maths side of it. Maths has never been my strong point, which is funny because I knit. The other sad thing about that mug, jumping around a little bit, the other sad thing about the mug is it was actually my favourite mug to drink my tea out of, because it was a nice lightweight mug. It held a lot of tea. It was really nice. It got me through a few hangovers, that mug did, and now I need to find a replacement for it. And I don't think I'm ever going to be able to find a replacement for it, which is really sad. But yeah, so yes, I made these socks. I cut my heel in the wrong place, so the foot's a little bit long. They still fit though. I used the Curvy Wurby afterthought heel. And I knit 5 rounds before I started decreasing because I have a really high instep. I forgot my lesson of make the tea before you put the makeup on. Then you can drink the tea. Didn't do that. I also made a market bag, which was the Girlfriend market bag. And who is that by? Girlfriend market bag. Laura Spradlin. And I made that out of cotton. I should have a photo of it, I think. If not, I will get my friend to send me one, because I gifted it to my very good friend Anna, who is the lady behind Anna Yanis's, and she makes planner inserts, but also polymer clay planner charms. She actually made my planner for me because she's an incredible person. So yes, it was her birthday, and so she's allergic to wool, which is really unfortunate. So I bought some cotton yarn and I made her the girlfriend. There's no I in it. It's 2 R's. Girlfriend market bag, and she loves it. Well, then the final thing I finished, my sock blank socks, which I hadn't even started last time I spoke to you. And these are what I knit in Estonia. So I visited Estonia. I went on holiday to Estonia, and these are my Estonia socks. I only finished them recently because, yeah. So this sock blank is by Stranded Dye Works. It is her Naive Watercolour colourway, and her sock blank is called the Plateau Base. And this was gifted to me by my friend Amy, not of Stranded, different Amy, so many Amy's. And she gifted me this at Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and amazing. And that's Amy of Odd Knits Adventures, hostess with the mostess of the Talk Yarny to Me podcast, which I very much enjoy and love the name of. So funny. I have so many podcasts to catch up on now. We only got internet yesterday, which is why I'm podcasting today. So we only got internet yesterday, and it means that I'm so behind on podcasts. I don't even know how I'm even going to think about catching up. But yeah. So I just did a vanilla sock. I did 64 stitches on a 2.25mm needle, and I did the New Depths heel, which is perfect for people like me who have a high arch. Only different, I edited it slightly. I increased 1 round less than the pattern calls for, so 2 stitches less than the pattern calls for, and that seems to fit my heel a little better, which is good. But yes, this New Depths heel is a super cheap pattern on Ravelry, designed by the fantastic Becky Sorensen, aka Soprano Knits, aka Stringing It Together podcast. She was my neighbour in Frankfurt, for those who don't know, which is where I moved from, Frankfurt, Germany. She was my neighbour, and I miss her a lot. She was my knitty friend. Now I need to find new knitty friends in Nottingham. But yes, love this, because when I say I have a high arch, I'm not exaggerating. Like, look at it. Eeh. I have panda socks on. I should have worn knitted socks. I didn't really think I was going to be sticking my leg in the air. I have panda socks. When I put my feet together, it's the face of a panda, but one sock is just half a panda, and whatever. You don't really need to see that, do you? That's not what you're watching the podcast for. But yeah, I really love knitting with a sock blank. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it because I've heard mixed reviews, but these are obviously unblocked because they're super uneven in texture, and I still have a bit left, so I need to weigh it and see how much it is. I love that these are sisters, not twins. That's like the best thing ever. This one is a lot more vibrant. This was my second sock. This is a lot more vibrant than this one. I love it. I love the colours. I got excited every time I knit in yellow. The heel on this one's fun. And yeah, I really enjoyed knitting these. I enjoyed knitting with a sock blank. It was exciting. It was fun. And one of the best parts of it is, we're going to talk about Becky a lot, aren't I? Well, at least I'm carrying on the streak of talking about Becky in every podcast. But she was my ball winder supplier, aka she had a ball winder and a Swift, and now I'm going to have to buy my own and find somewhere to set it up. Maybe if I pull up the drawers on my desk I can set it up. Otherwise that's going to be really awkward, and because this is chunkier than I thought it was, so that's kind of annoying. I suppose this shelf, I'll find somewhere, I'll find a way of doing it. But yeah, these were my socks. I loved them. They were fun. They were my Estonia socks, Estonia holiday socks. Oh, I just drank right-handed, that's weird. Okay, on to whips and hose. So I have a Cozy Memories blanket, but I have knit half a square on it, so there's no point me showing you it. And I knit half a square because I put it down for 2 seconds and I have lost one needle. So that's kind of annoying. So I need to go out and buy a circular needle, 2.5mm circular needle. Because then I can't lose one. And it's really annoying. I don't know where it is. I lost it about 2 days ago. So that's frustrating. Whatever. And then we have the traumatic story of it's called the Angel Face Turban. It's a pattern by Amy Apple, Appel, and Amy and Casey Mora of I think it's just Casey Mora Knits, or she has a podcast. No, Creative Musings. Creative Musings. I don't know where Casey Mora Knits came from. It's Creative Musings podcast. They were hosted. Amy designs like rockabilly 50s style patterns, which I love, and Casey wears that fashion, and they were hosting a summer rockabilly cal for this particular pattern, which is the Angel Face Turban, and it's just like a hair thing with a little bow on the top, and I got really excited and cast it on June 28th, which is when the thing started, because then it was going to be ready for me to take to Estonia and knit in Estonia. So I have never had any problems taking knitting needles on an aeroplane. I got my knitting needles out there, but they did not come back with me, which is weird. Estonia don't like 3.5mm knitting needles, but we're fine with my 2.25mm knitting needles and my scissors that I had in my bag, but they didn't like these chunkier ones. So she almost cut the cord with the knitting on, and then I was just like, no, please just let me unscrew it. So I've had to buy some more. Oh, it's 3.25. I've had to buy some more 3.25mm needles, which I didn't want to do whilst I was in Germany because we were going to be moving shortly after returning to Estonia. And then just one thing after another. And then 2 days ago, I picked it back up and started knitting it because I've already missed the end of the knit along by this point, which is heartbreaking, really annoying. I hate failing. I was knitting, everything was fine. I'd done a good chunk. Realised that I hadn't read the pattern properly, and had completely missed out 2 rows of the pattern each time I've been doing the repeat. So my count was off, and my row count was off, and I was on the wrong row to be doing the next bit. And so I tried to rip back, and only rip back a little bit, as in what I'd knitted, but no, I couldn't, and then so I just ripped back to the ribbing, and I've now knit back to where I was before I picked it up and messed it all up again. So that's not bad. I got all that little bit done yesterday. But yeah, so the yarn I'm using is hand-dyed yarn by the Corner of Craft, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. But this is just one of the you know, I dyed those 5 skeins before I moved and loved it. This is just one of those 5 skeins, and here's my swatch because I'm a good girl in my swatch. And also because I have a really big head, and I'm a tight knitter, so I was thinking that it would be the worst thing ever if I knit the whole thing and didn't fit on my giant head. So, but yeah, this is my swatch. And I kind of love the yarn. It's a superwash merino and nylon, and I really love how it looks. And I got some speckles on it. Here's the ball. It's not very, is the cake, sorry. It's not very neatly wound because I had to unwind some of it. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And this is it so far. So everything except the ribbing I knit yesterday. So that's not too shabby. It's a pretty quick knit if you don't have your needles confiscated. And it's cool. It's got this little ruching here in the back. And I think what's going to happen, because I haven't read ahead, but I think this is going to be going around my head. But we shall see. I hope it fits. It's going to be really sad if I've spent all this time on it and it doesn't fit. I did a stretchy cast on, the German twisted cast on, which is a good cast on, and a stretchy cast on. So yeah, I really hope it fits my giant head. I didn't think about that. Oh well. So yes, I enjoy it. It's got eyelets. It is fun. But yeah, this is what I've been knitting on lately, and well, today and yesterday. Because the other thing I've been working on that I haven't actually picked up since Saturday, which is ridiculous because I cast these on Saturday. But this is the most luxurious pair of socks I'm probably ever going to own because they've got cashmere in them. So yeah, I'm ready to start increasing for the heel. Maybe actually a couple more rows. I need to grab my tape measure. A couple more rows. But yeah, this one here is Woolen Yarns in her The Last Unicorn colorway, which she so generously gifted to me, and I love it. That's going to be heels, toes and cuffs. And then this stripy goodness is also a gift, and I failed at getting the middle of the yarn out and it exploded. And this was gifted to me by Bernadette of the Wet Coast Balls podcast, aka Eco Geek on all social medias, I believe. This is Loops and Threads luxury sock in the Ocean colorway, and it is 60% superwash merino, 30% nylon, 10% cashmere. And I just thought they don't go perfectly as in the yarns. They're kind of vaguely coordinated, but I thought they'd go better than they are going, and I'm going to try and get things in focus. But yeah, it's so soft. I love it. Yeah, no, I just need to get increasing. For this, I'm using 2.5mm needles, which means I have cast on 60 stitches. And yeah, it was Pride on Saturday here in Nottingham. So I went along and didn't actually do the parade, but sat in a cafe right next to where the parade walked up, sat outside, and so then saw the parade go past, which was fun, which is where I knit this little bit. And then my friends and I and Mario got the bus to Woollerton Hall and went to see some dinosaurs. Dinosaurs of China, which is super cool. You would have seen some footage at the beginning. And getting the bus let me knit a little bit more. And then I went out that evening and went round my friend's house to drink before going out, because that's what you do. So knit a little bit more then, and then we went to a bar, and then I knit a bit more then. So haven't learnt my lesson to not drunk knit, but didn't mess up, so that's a good sign. And super soft socks. These are not going to be ones that I wear every day. These are just my little treat yourself socks. Oh, not true. I knit some on Monday. I forgot that I knit some on Monday because I met up with some of my friends for a tea. Oh, forgot to say, this my socks are in a bag that my friend Virginia made me. Lots of gifting happening, and I changed the badges on it because I found some badges. So this is a gift from Julia as well, who painted my mug, Then I have these from when I was 6th form, so 17, 18, I used to wear these on my blazer. And yes, in 6th form in my school you didn't wear uniform, but I still opted to wear a blazer. Just not a school uniform one, because cool kid. Green David Bowie kiss, and I love the 80s, even though I've never been alive in the 80s, so sorry if that makes any of you feel old. I had that moment today when I was doing my makeup and could see that my face wasn't quite as youthful as it used to be. It's got a little bit of oldness happening. Like I say, I haven't got as much knitting done as I would have liked. But I need another big project. This is my thing. Mario was talking to me. Mario is my boyfriend, for those who don't know. Mario was talking to me about this the other day. He was just like, you know what you need? You need to knit another jumper. And I do. The problem is, I've put back on a stone of the weight that I lost and want to get it off again before I knit myself a jumper. Because I don't want to knit myself a jumper that's going to fit me at this size and then isn't going to fit me. But the good news is that Meg of the Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits podcast and I are going to be hosting a little knit along, and I don't know how long it's going to last, and I don't know the exact date it's starting, but I think we've chosen it to start at the end of August, I think, and it's going to be a vintage jumper knit along, or vintage inspired jumper knit along, and it can be either a jumper, it can be a cardigan, it can be, yeah, it doesn't have to be like completely vintage, but you know how the jumpers are kind of a bit shorter in the waist or a bit more fitted, or you know the thing. So we're going to be hosting that knit along, and I've chosen the something blue cardigan, and I've completely forgotten who designed it, so I've put it on the screen, and there's a photo on the screen, and it's stunning. So I think that's a cardigan I'm going to knit. I think I'm just going to buy some commercial yarn for it because it's knit and double knit, and I cleverly have a lot of 4-ply yarn as opposed to double knit. So I might just buy some commercial yarn, because then I also won't feel so bad as and when my weight fluctuates, because I will have probably just knit that for me to fit me now. But we shall see. But yeah, ooh, I just disappeared out of frame. So I'm not used to sitting on the floor, my foot's gone dead. Okay, so now we're moving on to fattening up the stash, and I've done some damage. Well, actually some damage was done to me to start with. My friend Virginia, who made the pug bag, she was my knitting friend in Germany. She hosted she arranged the weekly knit night that Becky and I went to, and she gifted me a skein of yarn that reminded her of my hair. And it's by Fine Fish Yarns, and it's dyed in Darmstadt, which is just outside of Frankfurt, so it's like my Germany Frankfurt yarn, and it's beautiful. We've got the bird balls, we've got some light blue and some navy blue, and it's so lovely. And it doesn't have a label on it, so I don't know what the colourway is called, but I love it. I just love it. And she also made a hat. And now this hat was meant to be for herself, I guess, because this is by the Fibre Company, and their yarn is of a very high quality and therefore price. And it's of her, it's their Aaron Moore, and it's a tweedy blend of fine merino wool, cashmere and silk. So this is like the fanciest and probably most expensive hat I'm ever gonna own. 80% wool, 10% silk and 10% cashmere, made in the Republic of Ireland. Blah, 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 blah. She gave me the label because she gave me extra yarn in case I wanted a pom-pom, so that was pretty cool. Haven't decided if I want a pom-pom or not yet. I might just keep the yarn and just feel how soft it is. But she made me a hat, a beautifully cabled hat. But like I said, she made the hat for herself, and as I've previously mentioned, I have a giant head. So this hat was too big for her. Fits me perfectly in a slouchy sense. So I'm super excited to wear this probably next month, judging by how the weather's going. That's meant to be picking up next week. But yeah, I will be wearing this a lot because I love it. Just need to make sure that I don't have purple hair because I can't wear it. and it goes quite nicely with my exploration station that I made. So yeah, fabo, love it. So that was my first bit, although the hat isn't technically fattening up the stash. I will ask Virginia what pattern she used, and when she tells me, I will put it on the screen and let you know, because it's stunning. It's so pretty. So pretty. But yeah, she is the queen of cables. Then we went to Estonia. Now, Estonia sells a lot of yarn. To be fair, some of the yarn that they sell is a little bit touristy. But like, everyone loves a yarn shop. They're also big into their colourwork mittens. So I've decided I want to make some colourwork stuff. So first off, we just found this little fair that was happening in town. It's like a little medieval fair. I don't really understand why it was happening, but someone was selling some undyed yarn. And I think this is chunky. Pretty sure this is chunky. It's still got bits of hay in it, it's still got bits of grass in it, but it was only €3 a skein. So I thought, why not? I could maybe get a hat out of this. And it's just really nice, undyed, like this brownish grey and then this lovely cream, and I thought that might be a nice hat. Plus it was super cheap, so I thought, why not? Then went into a yarn shop, and a lady actually explained the labels to me, because other yarn shops I'd gone and I'd looked at the labels and I just didn't understand the labels. But she explained the labels to me now and was very nice about it. And I bought some yarn from her shop, and this is 100% Estonian wool. It's fingering weight yarn, 4-ply yarn, and I got this dark purple. I clearly like purple, and I got this lighter purple, and I'm going to be making some colourwork mittens in it. So if anyone has any pattern suggestions for some 4-ply colourwork mittens, perfect for someone who's never done colourwork before, that'll be fab. Because I thought these would look really nice together, and these are a bit more expensive, but they're so dense. It's like it's a lot of yarn there, so zero complaints. They averaged out to €20 for the both of them. Souvenir yarn, I love it. Speaking of souvenir yarn, Mario and I went to Dublin. We've had a very busy month. Like, it's ridiculous how busy we have been. So we went to Dublin because for Mario's birthday I bought him tickets to see Belle and Sebastian, who was so much fun. I really enjoyed seeing them. But they were performing in Dublin, so we decided to have a little hollybobs as well. And I sought out a yarn shop. It was called This Is Knit. Let me grab the bag. The bag got a little crumpled in the journey back, but This Is Knit. I liked the bag. The finest fibres. It's in the Powers Court townhouse, and obviously I'd done some internet research before I went and saw that they had yarn that was hand dyed in Dublin, so I bought some. This is called PB&J, hand dyed in Ireland by Jenny, and this is 85% superwash merino, 15% Donegal nep. And Townhouse Yarns is the name. So if I do this and do this, cover the face, and you can just admire its beauty. And it's funny, as I was going up to pay for this, the lovely lady on the counter recognised me. I love this green. Recognised me as being the hostess with the mostess. My phrase of the day, apparently, of this podcast. And it was Jenny. So I actually met the dyer behind Townhouse Yarns, and she's recently set up a website, and her yarn is stunning. It took me such a long time to decide a colour because I limited myself to one, because Estonia, I'd done a lot of damage in Estonia. And I need to actually, you know, make stuff, not just buy the pretty stuff. See how much that has already filled it up? I've whacked this one in as well. Oh, my hair. But yes, I loved it. Because, I want to get this souvenir sock train chugging along. So I bought some yarn when I went to Edinburgh at the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, which is called EYF 2017. That is this one here, and I still need to knit. But I also bought some yarn in Barcelona that was dyed in Barcelona that I have knit, and one is a bit longer than the other, so I haven't actually worn them yet. I might have to unpick those just so they're even. But now I have this one, and I think I'm going to do a contrast heel toe and cuff, or at least, where did I put them? At least heel and cuff, at least heel and toe, even if not cuff, because I have this yarn that I bought in the sale in Germany, and it's tweedy as well. So I thought it's 75% superwash wool and 25% polyamide. So that would be a nice heel and toe to go with this. But I really like it, and it's got some cream, because it does have some creamy in it, and purple and green and orange and everything. It's beautiful, and it's really soft. It was difficult to only buy one. I was very controlled, even if Mario tried to encourage me to buy more, but I had to control myself slightly. And then I happened to be on Instagram at the wrong time and saw that Nora George was destashing and was selling yarn for pretty cheap, and so I had to go check it out. So from her destash I bought some On the Round signature sock yarn, which is 80/20 superwash merino and nylon, fingering weight, and this is the colourway Mavis, and it's really pretty. It's even prettier in person than in the photo she took. Clearly I have a thing about oranges at the minute, which is weird because I never wear orange. But this is stunning. I'll get the focus off my face. It's so pretty. These bits here. So I don't really know what I'm going to use this for, but something. And then she was selling this skein of hedgehog, and I have never owned any hedgehog fibres before. And I know that some people hate the sock base, but I needed to try it for myself and decide. And she was selling it for not that expensive, so now I'm back in the UK. Her shipping was good too. Not that her shipping was extortionate beforehand, but so yeah, this is the 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon Goosebumps colourway, which I just enjoyed. And I thought it would go with my other yarns for my what's it? Shawl hoodie cardigan, which I've been talking about for eons now, that I'm going to be knitting apparently at some point, and I thought it would go with these, but looking at it, maybe it doesn't go as well as I thought. It kind of does. Lifts it slightly. Basically it's just going to be a mishmash of colours and just something for me to throw on. So yeah, that was my epic stash fattening. You see what I mean when I say that when I put my yarn back in, it looks significantly fuller. Sad times. So I have my first Etsy update in a month tomorrow. On Etsy itself I said it was at 4 PM, but I don't know if it's going to be. It will probably be a bit earlier, so it'll probably be about 2 PM English time, BST, British Summer Time, which is GMT +1 technically, which is an hour behind most European times, unless you're in weird places like Finland, then I'm 2 hours behind. But I've been beading away. I have so many little stitch markers. So for those who don't know, I have an Etsy shop called The Corner of Craft. I was really excited because my stitch markers were on the Grocery Girls, so thank you very much Jodie and Tracy if you're watching this for showing them. But I've been busy beading away, and I have to photograph these all today and edit the photographs today and make listings and stuff. Busy, busy bee. That's the downside of having your photo editing software online. There's when you don't have internet, you can't edit them. So yeah, I have some new things to share with you, as well as some old favourites. So I have this little, I apologise for the state of my hands and my nails. Moving's been apparently more stressful than I thought it would be, so I've been biting my nails, and because I've been beading as much as I have, my hands are like the driest things ever. But yeah, I got little sheeps, just little white sheeps, and then I've got little aqua coloured sheep, which are so cute. I love these. And then we've got pink sheep as well, because I thought it was about time I get some pink sheep going. So those are the sheep. I already have some in my Etsy shop, but I'm going to be having some more of these turquoise and metallic purple unicorns, and these pink and turquoise unicorns. That's the only unicorn. Oh no, I lied. And then I got some new beads, because why not? Apparently I'm in the mood to spend all of the money, which is ridiculous, seeing as neither marijuana nor I have a job at the moment. Well, I have this, but you know what I mean. A stable source of income. But I have these beautiful mauve beads, which are kind of iridescent. I don't know if you can see that. And the unicorn is black, and it's got a sparkly silver, metallic silver, sorry, horn and hoofs. Then, because Halloween is approaching, I have some little sugar skulls with little flower crowns. Cute, cute, cute. We have 3 colours of dragon. We have some purple dragons with purple wings. We have some turquoise dragons, which also have purple wings. And this turquoise one has been in the shop before, as has this bronzy goldy coloured one. Boop, 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 boop. So cute. But the purple one is new, so I hope that you like it. We have some more flower crown sloths, as I call them, but sloths, as everyone else calls them. Because people seem to like those, so I'd like to have them in. We have some more grey cats, because also popular. And then we have some black cats, because I don't know why I haven't done black cats yet. But I just thought they were cute. Also new, we have some koalas. Because when I was younger, koalas were my favourite animal. And I just thought they are super cute and so small. And then I have some little, like, these are the cutest things ever. I need to make myself one. I love them so much. Ugh! Teeny tiny pandas. Look how cute they are. They're so small, they're so cute. I love them. I love them. But yeah, that, I think, pretty sure that's everything that's going to be in the update. There are over 50 charms in total, which is ridiculous. I will be doing my best to do a weekly Friday update. Let me just put all these away. I'm going to be doing my best to stick with a weekly Friday update. This is probably going to be the biggest update that I have, mainly because I've just had quite a few weeks to be able to work on it with no internet, so I've been able to get stuff done and not get distracted by the dangerous internet. My shipping prices unfortunately have increased for everyone. It was cheaper for me to ship to the UK from Germany than it is to ship within the UK. It's just one of those unfortunate things. So yes, shipping has increased, but unfortunately there's not an awful lot I can do about it, and it hasn't increased that much. And I don't charge for my time to package them, so that brings shipping down a little bit for you all. But yes, I hope that you are able to check out my Etsy shop tomorrow at around 2 p.m. Keep an eye on my Instagram, because that is when I post when my Etsy shop is full, both on stories and also on, oh, the sun's gone, also on just a regular post. So if you put notifications on Instagram, then you'll be notified when I post a new post, and therefore you'll be notified when my Etsy shop is updated, and then I will be shipping them out on Monday. So that is very exciting. I have a collaboration coming up with Becky, running it, as I've said, and Gabby of Once Upon a Corgi. So that's exciting. We have a little collaboration going. I think Becky's talked about it. Becky is designing a sock pattern. Gabby is dyeing the yarn to go with the kit, and I'm making a wee stitch marker which is on theme, and that should be coming towards the beginning of September. I'm not entirely sure if I can show you them, but I have some beading to do for that. There's going to be a limited amount available of the kits, and maybe after a certain period of time I will bring the stitch marker into my regular shop, but it won't be an immediate thing. So I need to get them beaded and shipped to Gabby, actually, because it would all be being shipped from the US. Cool. Well, that's all the crafty stuff done. I'm just going to talk to you about life, basically. Thank you to everyone on Instagram who has asked if my move went well and all of that fun stuff. It went well, pretty uneventful. We got our IKEA furniture yesterday, so we spent the day building that. Some stuff got broken on the way over, damn DPD, but that's okay, it's to be expected. But other than that, it was pretty uneventful. The flight was fine, no delays. The journey up on the train was fine, some delays, but not for us, mainly for other people, which really sucks. There was a huge hold up at St Pancras. Anyway, but yeah, the move itself was fine. We had to wait 2 weeks before we got internet, so that was a little bit annoying, but we have it now. We survived, got through a lot of phone data in that time. So funny how dependent I am on the internet. It's really sad. We went to Estonia, which, if you have the opportunity to go to Estonia, is a fantastic place. We went with some of Mario's ex-colleagues and our friends, one of whom is Estonian-Canadian. Canadian-Estonian? I don't never know which way around to say it. So she was able to speak for us and such. Yeah, Estonian, hard language to pick up. Thought it would be more like Swedish. I don't know why, but it's actually quite a lot like Finnish. I have never been able to learn Finnish. I lived with a Finnish girl and I tried to learn Finnish and nope, that didn't happen. But I also don't speak Swedish, so apparently when I speak Swedish I sound German, so that's always fun. But yeah, Estonia is a fantastic place. We were there for 5 days. It was stunning, it was amazing. It was really cold, it was really rainy, but I didn't complain once that I accidentally, maybe possibly didn't wear the right clothing for the trip. Dublin was also fantastic, dressed more appropriately for Dublin. We only went for 3 days. We arrived early on the Wednesday morning and left late on the Friday night, so 2 nights, 3 days, and loved it. So much fun. Managed to cram a lot in. I discovered I still hate Guinness. Irish cider is very sweet in comparison to the apple wine that I've been used to drinking in Germany, as is British cider, to be fair. So I've had to do a little bit of digging around trying to find what my perfect cider is, and unfortunately the cider that I found that I can drink and enjoy the most, because I can deal with half a pint of a really sweet cider and then it's just gross. But unfortunately the cider that I found is Henry Weston's vintage cider and it's 8.2%. So not ideal. Not ideal, but delicious. Yes, it's been a vast adjustment. Since being back, we have basically just been heavily looking for jobs and applying to as many jobs as I can. And I've heard back from a couple of places, which is nice, and keeping fingers crossed and whatnot. The ultimate goal obviously is to do, oh, it's raining, fantastic. The ultimate goal is to obviously do my Etsy shop full time, but I also know that that is not necessarily something I'm going to be able to do. It all depends on how updates go and such. Because I haven't done an update in a month, I have no idea how updates are going to do. The one that I did, the last one that I did was really successful, but that was literally just after my chance had been spoken about on the Grocery Girls and such. So I don't know how it's going to go. I'm really nervous. I hope that people haven't forgotten me in the past month. But yes, thank you for all of your well wishes and whatnot. It was an emotional last few weeks in Germany. Lots of stress, lots of crying, lots of saying goodbye, which isn't fun. No one likes saying goodbye, do they? But we're getting settled. We are happy, and I have a craft room, which is super exciting. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It just helps to get my video out there to more people, to be recommended to more people, and therefore more people watching my videos means I get more ad revenue on my videos, unless you're one of these people that has ad blocker on YouTube, in which case I get paid nothing. So I understand not everyone knows that, but that is the curse of ad blocker. If you have ad blocker on, yes, it doesn't play ads before videos, which is great, but also means that the person who's making the videos gets paid nothing, because all of the money that they make through YouTube is because of ads on their videos. Unless they are sponsored by someone and they feature something, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that is by the by. But yes, I post a podcast once a fortnight, and sometimes I do vlogs if I do interesting things during the day, but yeah, so feel free to hit subscribe if that is something you're interested in. Feel free to follow me on social media, links are all in the description box below. You can also just type it in yourself if that's more your jam. Also, saying also a lot, feel free to check out the Ravelry group. I will do my best to have podcast notes. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I now get to edit all of this and see how quick my new internet is. So that's exciting. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you very soon in my next video. Bye!